Meeting to order. This is a select board meeting of Monday, October 21st, 2024. We're here in the Town Hall Chamber, and the time is 6:31, I believe.
Yes, it is, Madam Chair.
Correct. This meeting is being recorded by MCM, and I'd like to welcome you all to join me with a Pledge of Allegiance.
Oh, we have to open the meeting, Madam Chair.
Oh,
first,
so thank you.
That's okay.
Let's make a motion to open the meeting. Do I have a
Second. Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to open the select board meeting for October 21st.
Excellent. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we continue, IT, we have nothing on the screen. Is that, okay, we're good? All right. Okay. So I'd just like to start by a very quick note on a few of the things that I've been in touch with in the last couple of weeks and share. I haven't shared for a few weeks because we've had such long, very long meetings, right? So, but today I'd like to just, a couple little things. So I was pleased to attend the Council on Aging meeting that was last week and sat at their table over at the council and had an opportunity to just kind of chill and hear what they had to say. They asked me questions about what was going on around town, and I gave a little bit of input into my perspective of things that we're working on. We talked a little bit about how our board's holding up, and we've had some long meetings, and it was nice because Sheila Gagnon was also a member of the select board a long time ago. I'm not going to say how long ago, but so it was nice to hear her comments about how things have changed and all the different things that we all do in a week-to-week, day-to-day, hour-to-hour type of situation. We really kind of never know exactly what's going to happen, right? So I explained the importance of the select board in all of these committees and listed out how many that I'm a liaison, and each of us know, like, there's a lot of them, and we need to stay connected. So we had, I said I could have probably talked for 2 hours because I felt very comfortable, and it was kind of nice just to be in that kind of an environment. But I also introduced to them the select board survey liaison thing that we're working on. So just a reminder that we'll be pulling that stuff together. And so we had that nice chat. I wasn't able to stay through the entire board meeting, but I was able to be there in the beginning and stay for a little bit. But then also I was on Saturday, we had a beautiful day, and we went to our graves with the Veterans Services and Karen Paulette, the director, and Lisa Potts, the assistant director. So we met at the Winslow Cemetery at 9 a.m. Then we went to Cedar Grove, Marshfield Hills, Couch Cemetery, and I think we probably finished up around 11 or so. There were a lot of flags in the back of that car that needed to be returned and taken care of appropriately. So then we went to the fire Sunday at the fire station and heard the blasting of the horn. There was a couple of kids that climbed up and said, "Can we blast the horns? If there's air in it." So the pizza was being delivered. I didn't get to stay, and I didn't have my grandbabies that day, but kids in their costumes, and it was really cute. So that was it, really kind of on a more personal type of note this week. And I think that this meeting today may be a shorter meeting than we've had in a while, so we'll see. But so that's it from my standpoint, and I'd like to go to our town administrator's report.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair. Town Administrator report, my weekly interview with WATD on current issues, questions, and various agendas for boards and commissions. Meeting with IT regarding updated posting information regarding the presidential election. The IT will be doing the postings to help the clerk out through the presidential election. And participated in a meeting with Sean Patterson, our DPW superintendent, and Jim Kent, the assistant superintendent regarding the need to purchase 3 sanders for the back of the dump trucks. The sanders that they have were in pretty poor shape, and they need to replace those. Hopefully our winter won't be too bad this year. We hope to fund those with some free cash. Meeting with Karen Paulette and Lisa Potts regarding Veterans Day activities and the need to relocate the ceremony because of the construction at Veterans Park to the town green. Hosted a meeting with Sean Leary, the new executive director of MCM TV, regarding his plans for moving MCM to the next step and any additional ways that he can be of assistance to the town with meeting coverage, special events, etc. Hosted a meeting with Mark McDonald Funeral Home, Sean Patterson, DPW Superintendent, and Bob Galvin, Town Council, regarding Skunk Hollow Cemetery and some issues surrounding that. Had a meeting with Sue Karen regarding a donation of land to the town. Select Board will vote on acceptance of this donation at their November 4th meeting. Hosted a financial update on FY24 closeout, FY25 year-to-date budget tracking. Sean and Meg continue to assist our departments with procurement requirements, closeout questions, and preparation for FY26 budget. Participated in the CPC meeting regarding the joint application filed by Sean Patterson and myself regarding funding to make our playgrounds all ADA compliant. I also commented on a number of other town-related projects to assist the CPC through facilities, the North River Art Society, and the Daniel Webster Trust. At a meeting with the Anne Marie Senate, our head assessor, regarding affordable housing taxation questions on affordable, like the MHOP houses, etc. Participated in a special select board meeting regarding Health Circle's host community agreement and donation agreement. Hosted a weekly update meeting with the town's facility director, Fred Russell, regarding ongoing projects, the fire HQ bathrooms and locker rooms, GAR Hall, ADA issues, Daniel Webster property, town hall doors, high school glyco project, the Martinson roof project, and some repairs at the Harbor Master building. Hosted the monthly department head meeting at the library to discuss the special town meeting warrant, opening and closing, website update, capital improvement plan deadline, FY26 budget meetings, department head reviews, gift accounts, holiday schedules, holiday staffing, and half-day before Thanksgiving. Hosted a meeting with Sean Strobel, our treasurer, and Meg LeMay, our town accountant, regarding some outstanding school closeout items for the FY24 budget. Had a meeting with Paul from the Airport Commission and Bob Galvin regarding some ongoing issues, agenda items, and property issues. Participated in a meeting with our housing coordinator, Karen Horn, and Habitat regarding the MHOP house at 115 Revere Street and town property located at 1929 Main Street. We also discussed the Housing Trust participation in a workday on Friday, October 25th. Attended the Mayflower Municipal Health Group Steering Committee meeting to discuss Pharmacy Benefit Plan, Lockton's FY25 Claims Reporting Update, Senior Renewal Medicare Freedom, PPO with the increase, Medics Benefit Enhancements, Insurer Carriers Updates, and review of the financials. And Mayflower, I'm happy to report Mayflower Municipal Health is in great shape. We got about $33 million in reserve. Meeting with Acting Chief LaSalva regarding the fire budget, update on the mold issue, Fire Sunday, capital improvement plan, and fire OT. Participated in a visit to the Winslow Barn to review the Concord coach with Greg Guimont, Fred Russell, and Tony Bullock, get a measurement of the coach. We also looked at Daniel Webster Barn as a possibility for location to place the Concord coach in a new climate-controlled building to preserve the Concord coach. Coach is one of only 8 left in the United States, so it's a rare artifact. Before investing any funds in ongoing restoration, the coach must have a place to be stored that's climate-controlled. We're working closely with the Marshfield Historic Commission. Participated in a conference call with Tom Hickey, Superintendent of the South Shore Technical School, regarding their open house on Saturday, and information on special town meeting warrant article regarding their change in funding. And you'll hear more about that when I do a presentation. I attended and participated in the Marshfield Affordable Housing Trust meeting, where we discussed the purchase of 115 Revere Street, perk test for 1929 Main Street, and Habitat Workday for Friday. Hosted a meeting with Rachel and Brad from the baseball committee to discuss the process, answered some questions, and provided some additional requested information for them. On this Saturday, I attended the South Shore Technical Vocational School open house on Saturday. Large number of students and parents at the event. I sent some pictures out to the board members, and Tom Hickey was tied up when I arrived there, but Sandra Boulder, who's the assistant superintendent, gave me a personal tour, and it's a really nice setup, and it was nice to hear all the kids talk about what they like. It's from agriculture, plumbing, electrical, gas, all of that. And those are important things, and there were a lot of boys and girls interested in going into those fields, so it's wonderful. I was also able to stop by the open house at fire headquarters regarding fire safety, kids and parents in attendance. We're happy to see our new ambulances and the rest of the fire equipment, the DPW truck, and a very large tow truck from Andy's Towing. And that is my report.
Thank you, sir. Okay, this evening, there were no requests for public comment, so we will not be entertaining the public comments section of our agenda. We're going to get started into our action items, and the first action item is a discussion and vote on request for permission to declare surplus in the Assessor's Department. And I see our assessor is here as well, but let's see what we have here. Okay, so there is a 2-drawer filing cabinet that we no longer need in the assessor's office. Anne Marie, is that?
That is correct, yes.
That's correct. Okay. Any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Any questions or comments? Okay. So let's move ahead on a motion. The board moves to declare surplus a 2-drawer filing cabinet from the assessor's office. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to declare surplus a 2-drawer file cabinet from the assessor's office.
Okay, and number 2 is a discussion and vote to sign the warrant for the state election. I'm going to
Did you
just,
want to do Ned first for 5?
Ned, do you want to do that?
Sure.
Okay, yes, this may take a little bit to read. So let's get into number 5, which is our friend and colleague here and some guests. So we have,
Yeah, maybe Mark can quickly.
You can grab that. Okay.
just a second here. So this is a discussion and vote on a request for permission to accept a donation for the Recreation Trails Committee. So we always love to hear when people are donating money, so, and this is, and you've been here before.
Yeah, it was from the mountain bike race.
Yes,
It was,
excellent. Was it a nice day?
Yeah, it was successful. It started out a little wet, but not too bad because it's
Yeah.
sand-based there, so it dried out pretty quick.
Can I just, before you continue, just your name and address for the record?
Jeff Wilson, 26 Norwell Road, Marshfield.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay.
And, yeah, it was a good race, and people raved about it. I was up at the event, but Ned probably heard more when the people came back,
Okay.
so he might have more. I heard from my volunteers, it was all good comments and everything.
Okay, yeah,
Everyone had a great time.
yeah,
It's a small race,
yeah,
but everyone had a good time.
great. Ned, would you like to add anything else?
Ned Bangs, Chair of the Recreation Trails Committee, and very happy to work with Jeff and Mark. And Jeff is, this is his brainchild to have it. We've had it 3 years now, and each year it's grown a little bit. And I think this year in June, we parked almost 90 vehicles, and so all over Ames Way. And the $4,000, some of that will go towards the brush hog.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so, yeah, we're very happy to work with NEMBA on this event as well as some other events that we'll have in the future.
Thank you. So I am going to just read a little bit of this letter. So we received a letter on October 16, 2024, asking us to accept the donation for $4,000 from SE Mass NEMBA for the trail improvements throughout the vast trail system. Of these funds, the RTC will designate $2,800 for the purchase of the brush cutter, as Ned just described, and related support tools. See the letter attached. These funds are the result of a very popular and successful Carolina Hill MTB Classic race, and at this time, they're exploring possibilities of offering a winter mountain bike race.
Yeah, Ned's
Sure
gonna
about that?
race. You gonna come see him?
Okay. So as I said, so donations are are appreciated, and I'll let my other select board members chime in if you'd care.
Sure. No, recreational trails is probably one of our most active and definitely a top-notch committee we have. So you guys do great work, and you volunteer so many hours. So you're really a model for other people who want to help and serve the town. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Eric?
Yeah, you guys do a great job. In the last meeting I was with, everybody was very enthusiastic of all the work you've done and all that and everything. I'm very impressed myself. Just for the record, what is NEMBA?
New England Mountain Bike Association, so we're a chapter. There's a mother member, so we're Southeast Mass New England Mountain Bike Association.
All right, no, I just wanted to make sure. I
So-
just
so-
saw the short term, and there wasn't anything here to fill in.
Kind of cover like Mendon, believe it or not, that's us, Mendon, all the way down to
Okay.
Plymouth, and then South Coast became their own. But, yeah, so we have a lot of parks to maintain. I do, Carolina Hills, I put a lot of hours, so does Mark, just trimming the trail, picking stuff up off the trail, reporting any problems. We do a lot of work, put a lot of care into it, and that side, the Carolina Hills side is great because there's only like one bridge out of the whole area. The other side has more bridges, but, so I heard a lot of the races, because I was up at the event, I heard them saying, oh, there's no bridges in this, so they weren't worried about sliding off. the
Yeah.
bridge.
Bridges and bikes and wet
Yeah.
leaves and all that, again, yeah.
Yeah, the
exactly.
algae builds up on top, and that's when you,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you had a
Oh, I
nice,
just have
nice
one
event.
more.
Go ahead, yeah.
Sorry. And the brush cutter. What kind of brush cutter do you plan on purchasing?
well, it's a brush cutter and other tools that we need. So I think the brush cutter we're gonna get, which would probably suit us, would just be a DP, which is a lighter, cheaper version. We looked at the Billy Goat where it, where it tilts and everything, the deck. You probably know more about this stuff. But, yeah, so we're just looking at like a couple $1,000 DP brush.
Something on wheels that you just go along.
Yeah, so it's
Just cut like the
manual.
sides of the overgrowth on the sides of the trails and all that.
Yeah, it'll cut that, or if we're building a new trail, it'll cut the brush.
Oh, okay, I got what you're
Trail on
saying.
the watershed we're
Yep.
doing tomorrow. Me and Mark went out today and probably spent 2.5 hours out there scouting it to see what we need. I have an older brush cutter that's probably from, I don't know, 60s. But it goes, anyways, I went out there and made one pass with it, and then scouted it to see what we need for tomorrow, hedge trimmers and stuff like that, with Wildland Trust. It's doing a trail, I don't know if they're doing a trail build or a trail beer.
Yeah, it'll be a trail build. So we worked with the Conservation Wildlands Trust. DPW has the property. They had it for water protection, so we went before them, and they approved the plan for that. And the brush cutter will be used a lot at Red Gold, so the newest recreation or conservation property that the town will have, because on the trails there, it'd be hard to ask DPW to maintain them week in and week out. So this machine will, store on site in a weather tight facility, and then be able to help maintain those trails out there.
All right, excellent.
Okay,
All right,
thank
keep up
you.
the good work, gentlemen. Thank you.
Okay, let's bring our action number 5 to a motion. The board moves to approve on behalf of the Recreation Trails Committee a donation of $4,000 from SE Mass NEMBA for trail improvements throughout the vast trail system. The RTC will designate $2,800 of the donated funds for the purchase of a brush cutter and related support tools. The remaining funds will be placed in the Recreation Trails Committee donation and gift account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right.
Unanimous vote to accept the $4,000 donation, Southeast Mass NIMBA.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
So one more thing, if we could get a picture with the big check
Yes.
that we have.
5-minute recess.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to take a 5-minute recess. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to do a 5-minute recess.
Okay, let's make a motion to come back to order. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
We're back from our 5-minute break.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to, there's no one else in here. I'm sorry. We have our town clerk here as well. So, but we're going to move to our action item number 2, which is a discussion vote to sign the warrant for state elections. All right, Michael, how much of this is the reading of,
So this is very standard. I mean, you can
Yep.
sort of just go through maybe what's going to appear on the ballot.
okay, all right. So this is what we are working on today, is the warrant for the state election put forth by William Francis Galvin, Secretary of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And this is for all precincts 1, 2, 2A, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it will be at the gymnasium of the Marshfield High School, 167 Forest Street, Marshfield, Mass, on Tuesday, the 5th day of November, 2024, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the following purpose: to cast their votes in the state election for the candidates for the following offices: electors of President and Vice President for the United States, Senator in Congress for the Commonwealth, Representative in Congress, 9th District, Counselor, 4th District, Senator in General Court, 1st Plymouth and Norfolk District, for precincts 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7, Representative in General Court, 4th Plymouth District. For precincts 2A and 4, Representative in General Court, 6th Plymouth District. Clerk of Courts, Plymouth County, Register of Deeds, Plymouth County, County Commissioner, Plymouth County. And we have our questions 1, which was a law proposed by an initiative petition. And should I read into what?
No, you don't
Just,
have to.
okay. Question 2 was also a law proposed by the initiative petition. Question 3 was also a law proposed by initiative petition. Question 4 was also a law proposed by an initiative petition. Question 5, again, a law proposed by initiative petition. And then these will all, we will have posted attested copies of the warrant for the state election of Tuesday, November 5th, 2024 at Marshfield High School Gymnasium, 167 Forest Street, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And the following locations will be the public places listed that will be in the different parts of the town of Marshfield. We will have this at the police station, Marshfield Hills Post Office, the Ventress Memorial Library, Brant Rock Market and Dyke Road, Main Post Office, Snow Road, Green Harbor Post Office, Central Fire Station, South River Street, Brant Rock Ocean Bluff Post Office, North Marshfield Post Office, and the Town Hall. So those are the 10 different public places. And the warrant must be posted by October 29th, no fewer than 7 days prior to the November 5th, 2024 state election. Would you like to add anything, Michael, to that?
I think you've covered
Nailed it.
everything. I know the town clerk's anxious to have the board sign this so
Yes.
she can get this out and comply with all of the necessary time frame.
Yes. Would you like to add anything? Okay. Would you like to?
You shouldn't have let Ned leave. He's on the last page.
I know, his name is right there in black and white for us. Anything you'd like to add?
I just had a question, because I know the last time we took this up was for the primaries, and we took a vote for a notice for the early voting, so I wasn't too sure why there wasn't an early voting with this notice as well. It was like a separate vote.
The early voting's already taken place.
All
We
right.
already voted for that.
You already
on
voted
the,
for it.
On August 5th, Eric.
So that was two of, there was a,
You
who was
voted
gonna,
for it earlier. I got it all over for you early so that you wouldn't have to do it multiple times.
no, all right, so it was both this one and the primary one
Yes.
together. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you, Norris.
Okay. All right, I'm going to make a motion that the board moves to sign the warrant for the state election for all precincts, 1, 2, 2A, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 at Marshfield High School's gymnasium for Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, from 7 a.m. till 8 p.m. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right.
Unanimous vote to approve and sign the warrant.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your hard work. Thank you.
Do you want the sign, should we sign that now for her and give it to her? or-
You can sign it after, and we'll get it
That'd be
down to
great,
her.
'cause
Yeah.
then I can just take it downstairs and get it ready for Ned tomorrow morning.
And maybe you
If you
could,
don't
maybe you
mind.
could flag down Ned too, Rick, 'cause you need Ned's.
Yeah, I'm
You need-
sure he's still packing his bags.
You're welcome.
Get you,
Thank you.
Take care.
well, good night.
Thank you, you
Have a
too.
good night. All right, number 3 is a discussion and vote to sign the AFS-CME Council 93 Local 1700 Clerical Union MOU. Those of us, that's a memorandum of understanding. So Michael, will you bring us through this?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, thank you, Madam Chair. So we're happy to report that we've settled with the clerical union, and before you is the MOU, which articulates some of the salient points of the contract. So it's a 3-year contract, retroactive to July 1st, 2024. Very standard 2% wage adjustment in 24, 25, and 26. Effective on July 1st, 2025, a one-time increase of 3.5% for anyone that's a grade 6. And effective on July 1st, 2026, we add a new 5th step at 5 years of service with a 3% increase from step 4. So to go from step 4 to step 5 with the new step, get a 3% adjustment. And then working hours, working hours 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. On a Monday, you get a half-hour unpaid lunch, 2 15-minute paid breaks. Tuesday through Thursday, our hours are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., half-hour unpaid lunch, 2 15-minute breaks. Friday, hours are 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And if you look, you'll see that on Article 13.0 holidays, there's a half-day before Thanksgiving to the list of holidays. And part-time employees shall be granted a paid holiday if the holiday occurs on a day that the employee is regularly scheduled to work. Part-time employees shall be paid at their regular rate of pay for the number of hours they would have been scheduled to work on the day in which the designated holiday fell. Example, if a holiday falls on a Wednesday and a part-time employee is regularly scheduled to work 4 hours on a Wednesday, the employer would be granted holiday pay for 4 hours at their regular rate of pay. There's some language about a leave of absence. On July 1st each year, full-time employees are granted 3 days or 22 and a half hours of personal leave to be used during the fiscal year. Vacation, any full-time permanent employee shall be granted vacation leave without the loss of pay in accordance with the specified provisions, which is very standard. And longevity pay, we made an adjustment after 20 years. You go from $500 to $600, a $100 increase. Educational reimbursement adjustment, we went from $500 to $1,000 for full-time employees, and from $250 to $500 for part-time employees, Reimbursements under this section is only for job-related courses and programs. And approval must be at least 60 days in advance, and reimbursement shall only be paid following proof of a C or better in the grading. And those are really the big points of the
Yeah.
contract.
Those were the I highlighted as you were going through, and those were the things that, so this process, can you just share with the board how long this process has been in the works and,
Probably a good year of negotiations back and forth.
Yep.
Usually, all of the unions, it's usually a minimum of, 3 to 5 meetings on each side. You have the first meeting to really engage, you talk about the rules of engagement, things like that. Then you have 3 meetings. After the third meeting, you can't add anything to the table. So whatever the bargaining unit brings after the third meeting, that's it. Same thing with the town. And then the goal of the process is that everyone leaves the room, no one's overly happy, everyone is content with the increase.
and that was the outcome?
That was the outcome, yep. The union's very happy with the language that we've put in here.
Okay. It's clear you did do some tweaking of the existing contract.
Correct.
And will we get the fifth step? So in the previous contract that is in our, the fifth step, I'm going to show you, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. I meant to ask you. So we have this that identifies from the so the fifth step and how that'll be.
Will be in the
added.
final version.
Okay,
yep.
all right, that's it.
This is just an MOU that articulates, I didn't get into some of the other stuff in it. I didn't
Yeah.
get into the attire policy, as folks know, anyone
Yeah.
that's worked here. We have an attire policy, what people can and can't wear, including shoes.
Yeah.
And the town administrator can suspend those, so we do suspend them on Fridays. We have jean days, if it's inclement weather, people can wear jeans and stuff like that, dress for the storm.
So just before I pass it over to Steve, I just want to, for the record, so the town of Marshfield and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees Council 93, Local 1700, have met in good faith and agreed to a successor collective bargaining agreement pursuant to General Law, Chapter 150E, which we hear about quite a bit in this office. Anything you'd like to add, Steve?
How close are we with the librarian union?
We're done. The only union we're still negotiating is with the fire.
Okay.
We settled today with supervisory.
Perfect.
I'm not involved in supervisory, because Kathleen's a member of supervisory, so Danielle does that one.
Thanks.
Thanks for that input. Anything you'd like to say, Eric?
Yes. Seeing this is my first, I think, handle on a union contract. On the letter B on the wages, one-time increase of 3.5% for grade 6. So is that 3.5% and then plus 2% general wage?
That's correct.
So that's a 5.5.
That's correct.
So what was
Only people that are grade 6.
so what is the purpose of that?
It's something that they wanted to do. It's, those are the employees that have been here the longest, and, they wanted to have a little bump in their salary.
So grade 6 is the longer-term employees?
Correct.
Or step 6, I should.
Yeah.
Am I missing it on the chart here? On the old chart? 'Cause I see step 4.
I don't know if they have the grade. Grade 6 isn't there yet. Yeah, it is, right at the very bottom, the top of each one. Grade 6, step 1 through step 4.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah,
Okay,
they get a
great.
little extra bump.
So what is grade 6 like? Did you say it's the top end or the lower end?
No, it's the lower end.
It's the lower end. And so the grade 6, you had 3.5 plus 2%. So they get that. So would everybody else would get that 3.5 as well, because
Only-
everybody else
only-
is being bumped up?
Only grade 6.
Just grade 6.
That's grade 6, yep.
And then add a new 5th step at 5 years of service with 3% increase from step 4.
Correct.
So, 3% increase. So is that 3% plus the 2%?
That's correct. But
What is the-
only for people that qualify for the fifth step.
So what is the purpose of the fifth step?
Fifth step is longevity. For those people that were here longer, it takes longer to get to the fifth step. So once you go through the 4 steps, that's, then it's pretty level funded. You just, you get whatever the cost of living is. This is an added bump for those folks.
Because, so you're saying, is it related to the current situation of inflation? Is that the purpose behind it, I would imagine?
Yeah. That gives them, some extra buying power.
It's, I can understand that, in my opinion. The problem is that I would look at that the citizens of the town that pay taxes to the town to support this, though we all understand that the cost of living has gone up for all of us, I think it's a failure on the federal government and our state legislature in regards to getting inflation controlled. And my look at is that while they continue to spend money ridiculously on things such as, illegal aliens in this country, that the citizens of the communities are the ones that have to pick up the bill for everybody else, which is unfortunate. And then maybe sets even more people back. I kind of had a feeling with this, when I was looking at this contract, where it was going, and I think it just comes down to people holding our legislatures and those at the federal level accountable for their actions, because I understand the union's going to be looking for this increase because of the inflation to help their members out, trying to stay ahead to a degree and everything like that. But, as well as ASME is probably just as much to blame, because they keep blaming these people that keep, backing the people at the legislative level to the elected offices that keep setting the rest of us back. On the leave of absence, Mike, Article 14.0, it says 22 and 1/2 hours of personal leave. Is there a reason that it's 22 and a half?
It's just how it's been,
So it's not a full 8 hours, is what you're saying?
correct. It's 3 days.
Is it a generally 8-hour shift that it's based on?
7 hours, because remember, lunch is not
Lunch and
paid.
break. Is it lunch and break?
Right.
All right, so you're basing it on their breaks and not paying them.
Yep.
All right. Oh. So how many hours do they work during the day generally? Is it a 7.5 hour day, or is it an 8-hour day with the breaks?
It's an 8-hour day with the half-hour free lunch.
With the breaks.
Correct.
7.5 times 3.
No, I get, that's what I was just trying to figure out. I mean,
Yeah.
with me, I get, even with my,
Yeah.
let's say the breaks, they still get paid 8 hours for their personal time and all that, so. I was wondering on that. And then, employees may bank up to 2 weeks of their vacation. So is that 2 weeks maxed out, not like 2 weeks every year, or
No, 2 weeks, just
2 weeks? That's it. Educational reimbursement. Who sets? There's nothing really defined here in regards to what courses are, and I imagine there probably are many in regards to this. So, I mean, how do we know that it's the courses pertain? Who makes a decision in regards to who?
HR.
HR makes a decision what courses fall into the category. And do they have a list of?
Yes,
Would it be a problem added into the language on this, or is it just something?
we've completed negotiations, so this is the final document.
I get
You
you.
wouldn't be able to reopen.
So it says job-oriented educational courses.
Has to be related to your job, so you couldn't take basket weaving.
No.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's just that it could be open.
Yeah.
How can you say? It could be different things open to interpretation unless you have it in the contract. You guys are somebody taking it, So
We're pretty strict when it comes to that. It has to really tie in.
all right. And I know you highlighted the town administrator may temporarily suspend any of the rules in the subsections A, B, and C. That would be under Article 22.5, attire policy. So what are you saying, that when you make a decision to suspend, it would be winter-related, or, I mean, what are you looking
It's
at?
not about spending, it's allowing people to come in jeans and, you know, snow boots and stuff like that.
Okay. There's no other times you really suspend that?
Sometimes if we're doing something like on the Red Sox Day, when we do the collection for the Jimmy Fund,
Yep.
I
Where-
allow
where-
people to wear Red Sox.
Okay.
You know, we're doing a little something for Halloween on the 31st. We're having a little coffee. People can dress in festive colors. No face mask, though.
All right. Nope, I understand, like, the wages and all that, and, like I said, it's concerning to me, but, like I said, I got my piece in on it, and I'm all set, so.
Madam Chair, if I may, I just want
Sure.
to follow up.
Yes, please.
So if you look, and Mr. Kelly was going through, there's 4 steps to each grade. So the 5th step's added because at the end of 4, if you're here for 6 or 7 or 8 more years, that's it. You stay at the 4th step, but when you add the extra step,
Yeah, but don't they,
yeah.
but they still get their,
They would
The
still
general
get
wage
two.
increase, don't they?
Right, but they get an extra bump for longevity for being a good worker. If
Well,
you're here.
well, don't they get a longevity pay increase on
They
the
do, but the
contract?
longevity's like it's like $150,
Yeah.
$25, depending upon.
I
years of
get something, I
service.
understand that, you know,
Yep.
the whole thing is that, like I said, I don't think we're,
I think
can you look at it, is that they make a rate, and then all of a sudden there's, afterwards, like most employees, depending on how they're set up, but after that, you get your step raises, and then everything else falls under a general wage increase after that, you know, I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like I said, like, I get it for step 6, the padding it a little bit more because of the economy, I'd imagine it. I'm just saying that, you know, the reason for it is just the way the economy is and the inflation, all that, and I get what they're trying to do. It's just,
So are you ready to move?
no, I am.
Okay.
I am.
All right.
I am.
All right. So this is a motion specifically for the memorandum of understanding. And so the board moves to sign the MOU for AFS CME Council 93 Local 1700 Clerical Union. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right.
Vote carries 3-0.
Thank you. Okay, number 4 is a discussion vote on appointment to Council on Aging, Joanne LaFera, sorry, if she's on, oh, she's not on. I had an opportunity to speak to Joanne on the phone. She shared her career paths and different things that she's worked on and why she's interested in becoming more active in a volunteer position in this particular role. She, as you can see in your binder, she was a customer relations director responsible for the GATRA and best transportation options for the specific needs, including senior and disability transportation. And as you all know, that GATRA is 29 communities or councils that provide transportation. And so it's not what I didn't have all that knowledge, so she shared. It was actually an interesting conversation. So she's also served on many boards and community committees and Taunton COA, the Metro West Alliance, Taunton Housing Board, Beth Israel Deaconess Community Benefit Advisory Boards, just to name a few. And as you know, GATRA is both state and federally funded. Joanne also helped work with grants to aid them in securing funding for special transportation options. She specifically included senior and disability populations to procure long-distance medical transportation, But my impression of her was she was really easy to talk to, and I know that she'd be a nice asset to that board. And I recommend her appointment, so. Anything you'd like to add, Steve?
Just that she seems very well qualified.
Yes. Anything you'd like to say?
No, I mean, this is one of your oversight, so, you know, I did have a conversation with Mr. Ringer quite a while back, so, I mean, if there's any time there's a spot open, he seemed very interested to be on it, so consider him at some point, that'd be great, but,
Okay.
no.
So I'm just going to remind you that there are associate, this is an associate position to that board before we, so this is what was, we made that decision back in April, I believe, Michael, something like
Yes.
that? Yeah,
Alternate, yep.
yep. So this is the alternate, okay.
Oh, this is an alternate position?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay. So let's make this motion. The board moves to appoint Joanne LaFerrara to the alternate position on the Council on Aging Board. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right,
Unanimous vote to appoint Joanne LaFerrier to the alternate position on the Council on Aging.
Thank you. Moving down to number 6. Discussion and vote on an application for a temporary liquor license for the Daniel Webster Preservation Trust. So, this is, the applicant is Margaret Carr. As I said, Daniel Webster Preservation Trust. The location of the event is at the Daniel Webster Estate, which we're all familiar with, at the 1880 Mansion. This is the Day of the Dead, is the description of the event, and it is a spirit connector to our medium event for 60 people, plus a 2-hour chili bar, desserts, tables, and 4 spirit connectors in the upstairs areas. Okay, so alcoholic beverages. I already saw the certificate of liability, but that's all set. It will be indoors. And there is a tip certification here from John Hernan, and a little blurb on what this is all about. So the tickets are $75 per person, and as I said, and there will be a cash bar. Okay. Arrive pre-show 5 to 7. Anything you'd like to add?
No, thank you.
Anything you'd like to add?
I'm good.
All right. So the board moves to approve an indoor all-alcoholic beverages temporary liquor license for Margaret Carr for the Daniel Webster Preservation Trust located at 238 Webster Street on November 1st, 2024, from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. for their Day of the Dead Spiritual Connector event, pending sign-off from the MPD, tip certification for all servers, and a copy of the liquor liability insurance, naming the town of Marshfield as additionally insured. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right.
Unanimous vote to approve.
Okay. Number 7 is a introduction by our town administrator to update us on the board for our South Shore VOTEC. So, Michael, the
Great.
floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To the board, I want to go through, so Tom Hickey, who's the superintendent, is going to be coming to our November 4th meeting. He's been meeting with other cities and towns at their town meetings before us. We're actually the last in rotation to have our special town meeting on December 16th. So I told him I would be happy to do a little update to the board on what's going on. As the board knows, Marshfield recently joined the South Shore Regional Technical Vocational School, and they did have the open house. I had an opportunity to go out there. I did some photos to everybody. On December 16th, there will be an article on our town meeting, just like on every other membering town. There'll be an article asking to approve the South Shore Regional Vocational School District agreement, which they've made the biggest salient point is that instead of a 3-year look back, it will now be a 4-year look back. And, you know, on the surface, well, what does that mean? Well, you know, kids normally go to school, it's 4 years, so the 4 years is on a rolling average. They'll keep going back, and it's the 4 years that they look at. So if it's, hypothetically, if it's, 26, then they would look at 26, 25, 24, 23, and then in 27, it's 26, right? So it's always a 4 where they used to do a 3. What I wanted to share with the board, now we can get into a little more specifics, is I want to go through, you'll see up on the screen, we'll quickly go through this presentation. Okay. Update on the regional agreement, amendment of the MSBA project, dated today, October 21st. Next page. Regional agreement, amendment, overview, and timeline. Amendment will change debt service calculation to a 4-year rolling adjustable average versus a fixed year at the time of the project approval. So what that means is, before the change occurs, if the change didn't occur, then it would be a 3-year versus the 4. Now it will be a 4-year in the average of the 4 years. Before it was a 3-year, the average of the 3 years. Our regional school committee approved the proposed amendment. Also has been reviewed by their legal counsel and reviewed by DESE, regional school officials. And Marshfield does have a representative on the school committee, Joe Zambello, also serves on our capital budget committee. Well-seasoned business person, sits on the school committee. Our towns will take up the matter at special town meetings from early October to mid-December. 6 towns need to approve the change for it to be sent along to the Commissioner of Education for review and approval. If 6 towns don't approve it, then it doesn't get adopted. Next slide, please. Now, this gives you a little example of the 3 versus the 4. Current regional agreement calculating the 3-year fixed debt look back. So you'll see, in 25, we'll be going into 25. So under the old system, you'd be looking at 24, 23, and 22. If you flip the next chart, please, would be the 4-year. And you would look at the 4 previous years. Once this gets adopted, some of the formulas changed a little. So what you'll see is in 31, so say you're in your building projects FY33, you're certifying in FY32. It's hard to think that that's around the corner. And then you have the 4, so how do you get the rolling average? So then you would be using FY28, FY29, FY30, and FY31. So just a little quick example. So if it was Marshfield and it was like 10, 20, 10, 20, just for sake of argument.
So you're saying
20,
10
60.
students, just so everybody
Yeah,
out there.
just, 10 students.
We understand it.
And, right, 10 students and 31, 20 and 30, 10 students and 29, and 20 and 28. You add those up, that's 60, you take the average, that's 15, and that's what the number would be calculated.
Everybody get it?
Under the old system, it would only be 3 years. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, in FY '25, no debt for any of the towns. There's no change in the proposal. Current FY '26 through FY '29, annual adjustable shared based on most recent October 1st enrollment. So for '26 through '29, whatever the enrollments are from the Communities Act of October 1st, that's what they'll be using, and there's no change being proposed to change that. In FY '30, share adjusted based on FY '29 enrollment, and then it's fixed going forward. And then you'll see in the proposed, share is adjusted in the same way based on that October 1st, 2028 Sims report, but not fixed going forward. Then in FY '31, fixed share from FY '30 does not change, but if there's a brand new debt, this new share fixed based on FY '30 enrollment as of 10/1 of '29. And then you'll see that it's proposed to be adjustable share based on FY '30 enrollment. And then in FY '32, fixed share from FY '30 doesn't change, but if there's new debt in FY '32 and beyond, the share is fixed based on a 3-year look back. We're gonna be changing that, and the new agreement will have a 4-year rolling average.
Mike, do we have, let's say, the last 10 years of enrollment from all the schools that are in South Shore Tech?
I don't, but I'm sure we could get those.
Yeah, that's gonna be, because this could really impact Marshfield cost-wise, depending on their, if we're gonna base it on enrollment. Enrollment, and as well as what seats these towns are guaranteed. How many seats is every town guaranteed right now at the school, is what I would like to see.
We have some of that, we've already
We have
received
some of that, yeah.
information,
So some of those I can answer. So right now, if they build a new school, there's no limitation on your seats. If you're a member, any of the children from Marshfield, because we're a member, would be able to go there. If they don't build a new school, for some reason the new school's not funded, you know, it's gonna be based on the percentage that we hold and the amount of people that can go there. Because right now, there's a limitation on the amount of seats. So Marshfield, when Marshfield wasn't a member, Marshfield was still able to send people to that school.
Right.
As long as there were openings. So the openings first got taken care of by the member communities, based on whatever the formula was. And then what's ever left, so we always had 3 to 5 kids maybe going. Some years we had no children apply, but, you know, there may be more, you know, certainly by the looks of the tour in the open house, there seemed to be a very large uptick. You know, it was pretty tough to get around within the school with all of the young kids, parents, boys and girls, et cetera.
All right, so what you're saying is that all these numbers are based on when the school was built, right?
Correct.
Right, okay. And so there's not gonna be a designated number of slots for the schools to,
No, that's the whole reason that we joined, so that there would be no limitations. So that if we had 20 kids that wanted to go there, they could. Before, when you were a non-member, you were held to whatever seats were available after the member communities got their seats.
wow, this could be expensive for Marshfield, if we're basing it on that.
But this
Very
is-
expensive.
So, Mr. Kelly, this is just one, this is one cost. The one cost about the amount of kids going there. Then there's the stabilization fund, which we're kicking in about 39,000 each year for the next 10 years. I think it's 392,000 and change. And then there's gonna be the cost that we're gonna be charged based on a formula. If the new high school is approved, each of the member communities have to pay their share. Just like if you were in Marshfield, we build a new school, you have to pay your share. Ours would probably, with interest and everything, somewhere between, you know, around 800,000 to maybe $1 million until we know what the exact costs are, what the interest rate's gonna be. There's, you know, different variables within that. And I don't profess to be an expert, I'm just going by my conversation with what the superintendent gave me, this report that he put together. And then, like I said, he'll be here on the 4th, so I think any members that have those, you know, really refined questions should bring those for the superintendent to answer.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add, so we all know this is coming, so I asked Michael to do a little bit more reconnaissance on this, so we all had a little bit of a step up on what will be ahead of us at our meeting with Dr. Hickey, so that we have the time and because it's not that complex once you figure out all the little intricacies of it, but there is a lot. I think there's 37 students, give or take, that are enrolled. I thought maybe it was
Yeah, like,
maybe a little less than that, but I think that's not
Right.
official.
I mean, that could expand, and then all of a sudden, the way I look at it, looking at this, this whole thing is based on enrollment. So, I mean, if Marshfield sends well more than what we anticipate for students versus the other communities, Marshfield could be picking up, at least the way I'm looking at it, a large chunk of the expense here over time. So,
So you have to ask yourself, what are your goals when we're
I would get,
town meeting to, yeah, so
would-
we'll figure that out, right? And we'll
Right.
do our reconnaissance, as I said, and we'll get to the nitty-gritty when he's here and
Right.
follow up with questions.
It's better to have more information
We
than
need
less
as much
information.
information as we can get.
but the biggest, up to this point in the presentation, the biggest thing to, in mind is that it's gonna be a 4-year rolling adjustable
Yeah.
versus the 3-year rolling adjustable.
Yeah. And that does make sense where I stand in my, to have that process.
Well, it does, because you're gonna
if we
have kids
can-
there in 4 years,
Whether or
right,
not
for
we,
4 years.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so Marshfield's 4-year rolling average formula starts in FY '33. Because it's the first fiscal year where we can calculate enrollment share with 4 grades of the students for 4 years, similar to other towns. So this, has a little chart here visualizing the proposed look-back process for debt share. And you can see by the chart on the left, year built, the budget year, and, a little synopsis on potential enrollment. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, tying it all together, Marshfield's debt service from FY '26 through FY '32 will be calculated annually based on the percentage of Marshfield students, total in-district students in the building. So they'll take Marshfield students, and say that there's 10, and they have 800, so you divide that out, and that's how you get your number. The other town's debt service from '26 to FY '32 will be calculated with a 3-year look-back for FY '26 only, and then followed by a 4-year rolling average starting in FY '27. Debt shares will be calculated based on their respective share of enrollment from the 8 towns. In FY '33, all 9 towns' debt shares will be calculated on a 4-year rolling average model. Next slide, please. Hypothetical process for budgets from FY '26 through FY '32. So they give you, pretend the debt share is $1 million in FY '28. So you look at the left-hand side of the equation, Marshfield's FY '28 calculation, number of Marshfield students, total number in the district, and let's pretend that it was 20 and there were 500. You divide it out, that's 4% or $40,000. That's just to give you a little visual. Next slide, please. Summary. A 4-year rolling average is a fair way to account for changes in town enrollments over time. When we assess for other costs not in the Chapter 70 formula, such as capital and operating costs beyond the minimal local contribution, we do not use fixed enrollments. Marshfield's on-ramp, because that's what we're on right now, the on-ramp, changes slightly, but the underlying concept is the same, paying an adjustable rate based on annual enrollment until there is enough enrollment data to calculate a 4-year rolling average. It will take us 4 years to build up under the new formula. And then, next slide, please. And then this is the MSBA project. Next slide. You'll see it's the second oldest regional vocational school. It's been around since 1962, as old as I am. Current enrollment, 686 students from 9 towns, 75 to 100 students on the waiting list. Unofficial Marshfield enrollment is 37 students. Programs include 12 career areas. You'll see them, I won't read them, they're all listed there. Next slide, please. And this is the school that will accommodate 900 students. We'll have a new plumbing and veterinarian science program. Next slide, please. This is a view from Route 123, what it would look like. Next slide. This is a side building view. And the next couple of slides are just floor plans. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. Building project cost and forecasting. MSBA takes official action on October 30th. So we're getting close to that time frame. The unofficial projected figures, total project at schematic design cost about $276 million. The superintendent did a good job of shaving down the cost by $9 million. They're anticipating an estimated state grant of about $111 million. So local share that would be covered by the 9 towns would be $165 million plus interest. Approximate reimbursement rate, 61% of eligible costs or 40% of actual cost. Borrowing models being developed with their financial advisors, not finalized, but looking closely at short-term ban for FY '26 to '29, limit the impact over the next few years. They would go out to bond the debt for the new school in FY '30, would likely build town shares on level payments for 30 years, using remaining stabilization funds for offsets in fiscal year '26 and '27. Next slide, please. Next steps, regional agreement. It's on, like I said, the agenda will be on our agenda for a special town meeting on September 16th to support going from the 3 to the 4 year. You'll see the towns when they're having theirs. On January 25th, which is coming up, there will be a district-wide vote on the project. So they'll need a majority of the cities and towns to have the project. If, the town votes, so many towns have to pass it. If the recommended number don't, then the project would move forward. If the record number do, and those communities that voted no, they wanted to get out, they would have to begin the process to get out. And then next slide, please. And that's it. Like I said, Superintendent Hickey will be here at our November 4th meeting.
Okay, so just to reiterate, so we're looking at the Marshfield December 16th for the town meeting vote, but the January 25th, 2025 is a ballot vote. Okay.
And they've made some, Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes.
So the superintendent can get into this with much more expertise than I do, but when they were putting the documents together, Marshfield, they didn't hit us right away with everything. There's a, lack of a better word, a warming up phase until we fully get the 4 years there. They've gone easy. So our formulation scheme's slightly different because we don't have the 4 years of students that they're looking at under the new schedule format. But on the 16th, there will be an article, and it's very simple. It says, proposed article, South Shore Vocational Technical High School Agreement. See if the town will approve the amended South Shore Regional Vocational School District Agreement, which is on file in the town's clerk office, or take any other action relative thereto. And basically, what they've done is, some of the points that directly have bearing on Marshfield is, on that agreement, if you looked at section 1, lines 170 to 175, there's new language that's been inserted that deals with Marshfield's debt service calculation for FY '25 through FY '32. And then in lines 185 to 187, there's new language, remove fixed debt share language at the time of debt authorization. And then lines 195 to 202, they've added 4-year rolling average language, which is the biggest change that they're making because it was always 3. Now they're going to change it to 4. Lines 231 to 232, it's new language inserted for Marshfield. Marshfield debt share calculations adjust through FY '32. Then lines 235 to 238, new explanation of Marshfield's share offsetting other costs. Then in lines 276 to 285, removal of unnecessary fixed debt share language for Marshfield. And then finally, in line 289, deleted unnecessary language on enrollment look back, as they're changing now to a 4-year average.
So when we get to the process of getting towards town meeting, will Dr. Hickey be available at each of our meetings, or how? I know that.
He'll be here for the 4th, and then if he has time, he can come back depending on what's going on. Yep.
And Hanson already had their town meeting.
Yep.
you know what happened there?
No. I can find out, though, and report back to the
Situate
board.
is November 18th.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep our
Yeah.
eyes on the news for all of that.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll get an
All right.
update on what happened at that one from you.
Okay. And all of you can reach out to Michael for a copy of the agreement if you like. And yeah. All right.
I'm just looking for the enrollment from the other schools. That's what I definitely want. in
I'll get the
past-
enrollment,
past
yep.
years.
How many years back?
And
I think it's actually online. I recall looking at it.
I'll get that for you, Mr. Kelly.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I'm glad we kind of got this started. I mean, it's been going on for a while, and the whole design of this project and whatnot, but now we're into the nitty-gritty of it. Okay. So would you like to add anything? I mean, it's just
Yeah, I'll save my questions
presentation.
for
Yeah,
Mr. Hickey.
Yeah, he has the details. Anything else?
same thing, same
Okay.
for Mr. Hickey.
All righty. I look
Thank you, I
forward to it.
appreciate that from the board.
Yes.
I don't
Some of
profess
these
to be an
questions are a
expert.
little tough. Well, you know a lot, but, okay, so our next action item is, in regards to our meeting minutes. So we have our meeting minutes of October 10th, 2024, and I'm going to ask for, the board move to approve the meeting minutes from October 10th, 2024, meeting, and I'm gonna ask for a second.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fiddler?
Aye?
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right,
Unanimous vote to approve the minutes from October 10th, 2024.
Okay, I'm also going to ask us to pass over the meeting minutes from October 7th, 2024, and approve them at our next select board meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
all right.
Unanimous vote to pass over and for a vote on October 7th minutes at the next meeting, which would be November 4th.
There's something else, I believe. No reminders. Special town meeting warrant closes October 25th. We have our select board and advisory board joint hearing Tuesday, November 19th. And as we all know, Monday, December 16th, 2024 is a special town meeting. With that being said, there are no.
Madam Chair, if I
Yes,
may, and then
sure.
the warrant will be available the week before the joint, so on November 12th.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, seeing no further business on the agenda, the board moves to adjourn our meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to adjourn the meeting for October 21st.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.